Our beloved 8% Hard AF Seltzer is now live in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, Ohio, Montana, Idaho, Oregon, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Illinois. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, and enter your city or zip to find the closest location nearest you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Yeah, let's go, dude. I'm fired up today. We're doing Drinking Bros earlier. Had an excellent conversation about Russia this morning. I'm ready to get into it today. Jesse had to take our child to emergency care for an earache. Jax, if you're watching, you shouldn't be. You're not allowed to watch this program, but hope you're feeling better, buddy. And yeah, that's the trials and tribulations of having 3 kids. Especially when they're not in school and all they want to do is swim all day and beat each other to death. That's kind of what it is with wet noodles. I think he got hit by a wet pool noodle or something.
That'll do it.
During the World Cup party in the neighborhood, which was fun for all the kids. Soccer's growing, man. Every single kid was wearing a Messi jersey or Ronaldo or something, running around the neighborhood, jumping in and out of the pool. It was fun, but now he's paying the price. This morning we should be back on Thursday. You guys have what? Crime Corner tomorrow night, Coop?
Yep, we got Crime Corner tomorrow night. Well, I won't tease the case yet because I'm not sure exactly when it's coming out. But yeah, tomorrow evening we'll be
Don't
recording.
cock tease it, all right? I got roped into another crime documentary with her last night. This is like the 9th Patterson fucking one I've watched. With Lacey Peterson and Scott Peterson and the chick, and we have new bombshell evidence. This is like the 6th one with new bombshell evidence. I guess what's that group that gets involved and does those cases for free? They're pretty famous.
Oh yeah, we've covered some cases that they've done. Let me see.
Yeah, and they win a lot of them.
Freedom Foundation or something.
Something like that. But they end up winning a lot of these. What I told her last night when we were watching it was, it feels like because there isn't enough content to fill all this shit. Is it called the Freedom Foundation? Or Project Freedom?
There's the Innocence Project.
That's it, the Innocence Project. That's the one who's handling this one. And when I told her last night, what it feels like is because there is no television, we're just taking the biggest cases and then just trying to find ways in which these people are innocent. It actually goes back to that Drinking Bros show we talked about earlier. Everything's a conspiracy. Every single thing's a conspiracy now, and nobody can just die or be murdered or something. Like it's a conspiracy that we've got to uncover. Bombshell reports everywhere. Bombshell, bombshell, bombshell. And you're like, all right, I'm watching this thing last night, and I'm like, is this just one part? Nope, it's got to be 9 parts now, and you got to watch all 9 parts. And God forbid you miss one of them, and all that other shit. No, right. I'm so happy you brought this up. So I just watched this one on Netflix. This is another one.
Holy shit.
Yeah, this is A&E who's got bombshell evidence now that Scott couldn't have done this. And it appears to be dudes who set out on this path to prove that it's a conspiracy, and then they leave it up to you. It's like, okay, cool, man. I can't go over this case anymore. I don't like that Making a Murder. I knew that fucking dude did it 10 seconds in, where I was just like, nope, that's a creep right there. They fucking murdered that chick with his retard brother. Now, should the retard brother have gone to jail? Probably not. He didn't know what he was doing. He's just sitting in a corner being retarded, you know? Normal.
I think
normal shit.
Would have been
sitting
reasonable
on a
to say he's
chair.
unfit to stand trial.
Yeah, but, you know, I haven't heard any backlash on that of like, oh no, we think he's definitely guilty, you know. But with all this shit, yeah, that's what I got roped into last night. I wish I had an earache, for Christ's sakes, so then I wouldn't have to watch this. The other thing that I wish I didn't have to watch was the Odyssey this weekend. So my child wanted to see the Odyssey. I think they're at the age where they're reading it now, like the books and stuff. Well, there is websites out there, if you're a parent, that can tell you if there's nudity, if there's violence, why the movie's rated R before you go in, which is great. So with all that, while you're doing it, you kind of breeze down everything and say, all right, as a parent, this is what I'm okay with my kids seeing. This is what I'm not okay with them seeing. I feel like enough of them swear in middle school that I'm like, cool, we're over that. Now, I was shocked to see that it was in there. Like, to my knowledge, they didn't use the word fucking in the Odyssey.
Not that I'm aware of. Maybe
was that even a word back in those times?
It might have Latin roots. I don't know. Fuck has a really, really confusing history to it.
Okay.
I'll see if I can pull something up for it.
So that was one of my major problems with this film, is when they said there was language and shit, I was like, why? To my knowledge, none of those words existed back then, so why would it exist now?
Yep, you're absolutely right. There are no Latin roots to the word fuck. It's Germanic.
Thank you. So it was jarring when Matt Damon said it on this boat, and I was like, okay, that feels like improv. There was some other lines that felt like improv for me from Matt Damon. One of them was they were fighting this Cyclops monster or whatever it was. And one guy comes up to him and just says, and this is a spoiler alert, I think everybody knows this in the trailer, but the line is, do you think we should reason with him? And Matt Damon just turns to him, and it just seemed like improv, where he goes, I think we're way past that point now. And that was his exact words. Now, if they would have framed this like Romeo and Juliet did with Leonardo DiCaprio and all those guys, where it's like, hey, it's a modern retelling of this. We're going to use our own dialogue, a bunch of different races, genders, sexes, all that other shit. I could have understood that and probably got behind it. But the fact that this was nowhere near the book that I read as a kid or was forced to as a kid, it was odd, man. The whole thing felt odd. I'll start with my first thing. I know you think I'm going to go in Lupita Nyong'o, which I will, but the first thing was the American accents. I don't think I've ever seen a movie from that time period that has ever been portrayed in American accents before. I think we're all so conditioned that it's going to be British that it felt strange to see it. And here's why. There's a ton of great actors in this. I think, in my opinion, too many. I think there's too many stars in this where it becomes jarring too, where every scene had a different celebrity in it, where you're like, oh, there's that person, there's that person, there's that person. But they've only got like 1 or 2 scenes apiece, and then that's kind of it. Now, the problem with an American accent is they're different depending upon what part of the country you're from. So if you're from the South, you're going to have a Southern accent. John Bernthal, one of my favorite actors there is right now. Love him. I loved his podcast before he stopped doing it. He had... he's kind of got like this New Yorker thing going on, and that was in the movie. But he's talking to other characters who don't have a New York accent. So where are you from here? Are you from Greece? Is that where we're from? Or what are we doing here with all these different American accents? That I could not get used to. The dialect itself, or the words, like with fucking and things like that, that wasn't in the book that I read, so like that seemed fucking weird for the time. Like, not now, but back then it would. And yeah, so I was surprised to see that. I was surprised that some of the scenes did feel like there was a little improv in it. And then the million different races and genders thing is last of this for me, where it opens up with Travis Scott. The very opening scene is Travis Scott, which, look, he's an okay rapper. I think he's better known for killing all those people down in Houston, whatever. Or the Kardashians, I think, right? It was a strange choice that he was in the movie, and then immediately the next scene was Elliot Page, right there. That started off, those two characters started off the movie for the Odyssey. And I was like, whoa, dude, we are not seeing anything from this time period whatsoever.
Yeah, Nolan came out swinging with that one.
He did. Why, though? Why is the question. with Elliot Page in the trans thing, that was already a division. And then, the very opening of the movie is Elliot Page. It certainly felt deliberate. I don't know why you would do that. I don't know why you would even cast that person. Why even invite the controversy in? Because when we did this show, I don't know, let's call it 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was really curious to see if this was going to bomb. And I had 2 schools of thought on this. Christopher Nolan is the greatest living director right now, in my opinion. I don't know if you guys agree with that. Tarantino
100%.
hasn't put out a movie in a while.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm all in on Christopher Nolan. I think I've loved every single one of his movies. I've defended every single one of his movies, from the odd choices and the choose your own endings, which typically I'm not a fan of. However, the way he did it, it was the choice that I thought was appropriate, and I wanted, and I was willing to go along for the ride. So even though like the woke shit was in the movie, which there was a lot of it, I'm still willing to go along for the ride for Christopher Nolan, because that's how much I love this guy as a director. That's how talented I think he is. Now, on the flip side of this, if you're looking for some good in it, visually, it's still a Christopher Nolan movie. Looks beautiful, shot beautiful. He shot it in Super 70. The problem with that, with 70 millimeter film, is there is only 25 theaters in the nation currently that support 70 millimeter film. So why do it? That one, if you were able to see it in those 25 theaters, awesome, congratulations. Maybe you had a different experience than the rest of us, but yeah, you can put that on screen. There's only 25 theaters in America with Super 70 capabilities. One of them is in Hollywood, and I saw The Hateful Eight in it. That's how Tarantino shot The Hateful Eight. And it was beautiful and fun, and they had an intermission and like a little orchestra play during intermission. And he really made it feel like an old-timey movie experience. It was fucking awesome. It's like one of those once-in-a-lifetime things. But there's only 25 of those theaters. So to spend that much money on it, to break even, what I heard, just to break even on that movie, you got to be in that 450, 500 million level. Because I believe they spent $250 on production and then another $200 on P&A, which is advertising. And I thought, with all the negative backlash before the movie came out, there's no way in fucking hell that it would get there. Now, Bluke, I was stunned to see the opening numbers of this movie. I think it did 174 in just America alone. And I want to say 275 total globally on opening fucking weekend.
Yeah, it has a $124 million opening weekend.
But that's here domestically.
Yeah, that's just domestic.
What's the total? Just go to Google and type it in and see what the worldwide is.
We've got Slav in the chat here saying that movie theaters across the nation have confirmed that the Odyssey tickets were bought up to fake the box office numbers, and he claims that he sent evidence of this to the Drinkin' Bros Instagram account. He DM'd it to us if you want to check it.
Okay, great. I actually will, because fuck. He didn't know this was going to be part of the show today, but it is going to be part of the show today. Actually, because we'll find the global number first. What was it? Was it 275 total, Luke?
1 second. Sorry, I was going to the Instagram.
No, you're on. Yeah.
Opening. I'm not.
Just type in global.
Global. Okay.
Yeah, that'll give you the answer. I think it's 275.
264.1.
Okay, so pretty fucking close here. Now that's half your recoup there to break even. It's fantastic. That is the highest opening number in Christopher Nolan's entire career, and for one of the greatest directors of all time, if that is your opening number, you win. Even if the movie is shitty, and even if you're finding these things for the box office, I don't know how you fake $275 million, guys. I don't know how to do that. The math doesn't math on that. If you're asking me to believe the election shit in 2020, which I do, I don't think those results were correct. I don't know how, and that I know how to, I understand, double counting and illegals voting and all that other shit. Like I understand how they're able to beef up numbers.
Yeah, money is money,
This is way
really
too fucking high. Yes. I'm sorry. You cannot fake $264 million. Now, do studios go in and buy out tickets in large groups around the nation? Yes, they do. What are you looking at, Coop?
We're tracking down the stuff that Slav sent over.
Okay, either way, guys, faking $264 million, that's a lot, man, for one movie. I don't know any studio who would do that.
I mean, that would be pretty much their entire advertising budget, wouldn't
Fuck yeah, it would. I mean, I don't know anybody who would do that or could financially do it, unless it's the ultimate cult of Christopher Nolan fam. Like what's the good in it? What's the good in faking a box office that high? And now your argument could be, I guess, maybe they want all this woke shit to go in movies and, hey, we're going to normalize trans shit and all these fucking people and blah, 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 right? But that's a lot of money. I don't know how to do that in movies. And I've never seen it done before. Yes, I've seen studios go in and buy out 20 to 50 seats in theaters and make the numbers look good for the matinees.
I mean, you hear about people like buying for like books. You'll hear them like buy up a bunch of books to get onto the bestseller list, that sort of thing.
Great example. So that goes on, and then they usually send them to warehouses. One of our listeners actually delivered, I think it was Simon & Schuster, delivered a shit ton of books to a warehouse and then took a picture of it for me, took a picture of the lady, the thing, and I looked it up, and it was like, yeah, this lady made the New York Times bestseller list. That's not very costly. Like a hardback for Simon & Schuster to make is $7. So, and you only need, I think it's 5,000, right around that number to get on the hard book list. Opening week. So yeah, what's 5,000 times 7? 35 grand?
Yeah, and in that situation, getting onto the New York Times bestseller list is what's going to get you all the money. That's going to sell the rest of the books.
Correct.
If they're inflating the numbers, it really doesn't make any financial sense for them, unless it's purely an ideological victory that they're looking for. But who are you going to get to invest in an ideological victory? Like, not studio execs.
Yes, and so to that point, will somebody pay 35 grand for books? Yeah, that's not a big dollar amount. Who cares? Will somebody pay $400 million? No. To get this going, or I'm sorry, 265 to get this going. If you were able to find it?
Yeah, it looks like this is it here.
Okay. So go back and read it. I'll entertain this. Let's go.
Okay, so from Mr. Obvious on Twitter, he says, breaking, the Odyssey is faking ticket sales by buying up theaters/seats, fraud to make the movie look like a success, already $400 million in the hole. Moviegoers are reporting having to take terrible seats because full, but when they show up, the theaters are mostly empty.
Yep. So
I work in a movie theater, and honestly, I was expecting tons of people, something like the sardines in the SpongeBob episode. Instead, it was pretty chill. It was actually kind of empty. Isn't that strange? I keep seeing posts on social media saying that the Odyssey has already made like $500 million, but that doesn't quite match up with what I'm seeing. Maybe it's in other countries. Things we've noticed, a lot of tickets were bought and still being bought online, but very few people are actually showing up at the theater, which makes no sense. I talked to people from other theater locations, and they're saying the exact same thing. I wonder what you all think. There have been a lot of noise about this, especially with what's been going on. Personally, I don't mind because it's been a pretty chill shift and not a lot of work. Spider-Man is around the corner, though, and kids and pretty much everyone loves Spidey, so busy days ahead.
Everybody's going to turn out for Spider-Man. I mean, I'm not a big comic book guy, obviously, and even I can understand like that movie's going to crush, right?
Oh, yeah, I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
So for me, I went on a Sunday, I think we went at noon to see it, Saturday at noon. So second day it was open. Movie wasn't that packed. I would say 40% full tops, maybe 35, somewhere in there. And that was it, which, yes, that did seem strange to me. But, I do know in the past, studios have bought like 50 tickets here, 50 tickets there. This is way too many tickets to buy, though, man. I mean, fuck.
I mean, they kind of, the box office numbers that's not like propaganda, you know what I mean? That's something that the theater companies and the production companies use to decide if they want to hire Chris Nolan again, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like a metric that they need to be accurate, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and the other thing is, with movies, the biggest key to their success is word of mouth. So second weekend is this weekend coming up is what all eyes should be on. So let's say somebody did pay this off, right? They can't keep paying it off. So if this movie drops massively next weekend, which I expect it to because it was awful. Like it was an awful film. Then yeah. Now what you can fake is these Rotten Tomato reviews here. So it was at 97. Is it still at 97 right now? Or is that 95?
The critic score is 95. The audience score is 97, I think. I think that's how they do it.
Okay. Those can absolutely be bots and bought up and all that other shit. They've had very bad problems with that in the past. With this, yeah, this was already at 97% before the movie came out, which is also Christopher Nolan's highest rated Rotten Tomatoes movie of all time. And no, there's no way. I mean, we went over his list the other day, man. If you're looking at The Dark Knight Rises and Interstellar and Inception, all of his great films. This is nowhere near that. It's just not.
I found a review where somebody's not having a good time, apparently. He gave it 1 star. He says, the theater was evacuated an hour into the movie, and the rest of the 70mm showings were booked for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
I know.
I'm sorry, man.
I know. And look, I know there's a lot of Christopher Nolan fans who actually traveled to go see it in 70. That's how big of a fan base he has. So maybe it is him, right? But I wonder if the word of mouth this week, with everybody talking about it, is good or bad for it. The other ones I found weird were like the guys like Ben Shapiro or Rubin, who are always the get woke, go broke guys, and so am I. We're saying, oh, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen. No, it's not. Like I realize art is subjective, and you might love it. You guys might love it. I try to go in with an open mind for everything. One of the movies, that Dan and I argued about was last year, One Battle After Another. I personally loved that film, and I think I knew what he was going for, and I predicted the Oscars. As soon as I walked out of that movie, I was like, I'm not a big fan of Sean Penn politically, but I go, he's going to win a fucking Oscar for this. Like, he was incredible in this goddamn movie, and I liked the goddamn movie, even though, some people say it was woke. I thought he wrote it for 2 different reasons, which he does with all of his shit. And it did really, really fucking well. So you'll know here this second weekend, but these opening weekend numbers are so fucking massive. I don't know how to fake that.
So you you've made a lot of movies yourself. Do you think that
excellent
do you think
films,
that there's
by the way?
any I should add that. Very excellent movies yourself.
I'm joking.
Do you think that there's actually any possible way that if a company did want to secretly pump $250 million into inflating the first weekend sales, would that there's no way it would increase interest enough to recoup that loss in future sales?
I just don't know how you do it. And I don't know who's got that kind of money. I mean, Nolan's got a blank check every movie he does. He's one of the very, very few left that are out there. Well, they'll say, hey, just make whatever you want. We'll pay for it. Because what you're getting is potentially going to win an Oscar. And he doesn't miss. This was his only miss to me. I've loved every single movie he's done. But there is no way to pump in $200 million like that. I mean, that would have to be on like a political scale campaign. You'd be lucky to get that as a candidate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a presidential candidate would be lucky to get it. If you look at it, Kamala Harris's entire campaign was $1.2 billion. So you're looking at you would be paying 1/6 of that to inflate these numbers, essentially.
It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big conspiracy guy, and I understand what you guys are saying, but I just don't see how it's possible. I really don't. You can't fake money. The money has got to go somewhere. Now, if it was just a ticket and there was a guy counting tickets there, sure. I was all right, I got a fake ticket, I got a thing or whatever. But for money, this much money to go out the door, no. There's just absolutely no way. Now, Rotten Tomatoes, I think was rigged. I think
on IMDb it has 8.4.
Okay. It's still, it's still very good for IMDb, but all these people are shitty anyways. But they gave, if you go to Shawshank, there was 10,000 people who gave that a 1 star. They're just like, okay. But And then maybe you might be saying that this is the same thing about me at home today, where you're like, hey, dude, I saw this movie and I love this movie. I don't know how. And it is rare that I walk out of something. I think I've walked out of 3 in my life, and I gave it 2.5 hours. I heard the movie was 3.5, but like nothing really happened either. It was just like, okay, there was a couple cool scenes here and there, but not enough for a story. I think it had more to do with the scripts and then the casting of it. Like it was just, there was Koreans on the boat at one point. You know history better than I do. Was there any Koreans back then that were helping out? Like,
it's a bit of a stretch. I don't think there was contact between the Mediterranean countries and the Orient. There was trade and stuff like that. But as far as an actual Korean, I don't know if Korea was even a thing back then.
I don't either. And like, there was so many questions where I'm like, all right, well, these black dudes here, like, why? Ellen of Detroit, obviously, like, why? And it's distracting. That like every scene, there was some distraction in it, and when you could finally get past it, like Anne Hathaway was great. Pattinson, who I don't typically like, was actually very good. Tom Holland, they kept referring to him as a child. He's 30 years old, and it's like he was playing Spider-Man before he puts the suit on.
He's got such a baby face, though.
I know.
I feel like that's one of the more believable ones. And
then Ellen Page rolling out there in the fucking gear and getting shot up. You're just like, man, I can't do this. And then it, whatever we're calling her, has got a different voice now. So the voice is deep, and I don't know if they did it in post-production or that's her actual voice now. And again, there's so many distractions that are taking away from a movie experience. I would rather just go and see a movie and not know and be like, okay, great. But instead, every scene, there was something or someone that I questioned where I was like, why is this person in this? You know? And it just didn't end through the whole thing. And so I was just like, I can't. I looked at my kid and I go, hey, we've gone to a lot of movies together. He loves going to movies. And I go, it's rare that dad wants to leave. I go, I'll stay if you want to stay. And he goes, no, this is as boring as a thing. Now, you also could say, hey, dude, the Odyssey itself was fucking boring. The book, which me personally, it was.
The book is a boring read, but adaptations of it are cool. When you just go through and put the action together and the story and put it in a language that's understandable.
Yeah, some people are asking about the historical things, accuracies of it. There's a million reviews on it about how historically inaccurate it is. I'm not the guy for that. You can watch those reviews, and there's a million of them, and most of them, by the way, happen to do with race and gender and who did what. And so that I understand at the end of the day. But man, the love and the money for this movie, I've never seen anything like it. I really haven't. And I guess if you were trying to say, hey, we're going to make some psyop or something about this or some conspiracy about it, we're going to dump in all this money into it, Christopher Nolan would be your guy. He's head of the Directors Guild as well, and the very best there is in the world.
I mean, you could say he's like the modern day Stanley Kubrick. For
yes,
as 100%. As influential he is.
100%. So you could say that. I just don't know how you keep doing it. And then it could be a fucking massive joke at the end of the day where he just comes out and he says, you know what, man? Once they changed all those rules for the Oscars where you had to have trans and disabled people and everything else, if he just comes out and says, you know what, I just did it just to do it, fuck you guys, because this is so dumb, I would laugh my ass off, and I think he's the greatest guy of all time. Like, I really would.
That is the number one thing that has been popping in my head, that if Christopher Nolan is
God, it would be good,
visionary,
wouldn't it? Yep.
then the actual piece of art that he's putting out is the audience reaction to what it is that he put together. And I do also think that, I don't know what Christopher Nolan's politics are, but considering that he's in Hollywood, I assume that he's a liberal.
Yeah.
But if he was like a closeted conservative, him putting all of this together just as a way to highlight the ridiculousness of what the Oscars are doing now would be brilliant.
Blue.
I mean, I think his movies, if you look at the themes of his movies, they actually do tend to be like more conservative. If you look at like Batman as like a superhero is technically more conservative than other superheroes.
A wealthy white man that's concerned about crime. Yeah,
Exactly. If you look at, I don't know. I mean, all of his movies are kind of like that. I mean, they're all kind of conservative.
But here's the thing: I didn't think there was anything political in those movies.
Every movie has some sort of there's something going on in the theme with every movie. That's just how stories work.
The real one that was polarizing also was that One Battle After Another, and oddly enough, I left it thinking, if let's say you went in that movie and you're on the right. You look at it and you're like, holy shit, dude. Thank God I'm doing this, and I never want to be like these people. If you're on the left, you go in and watch that movie and you think, yeah, dude, they're fucking revolutionaries. They're standing up for shit, and they're, resisting and against the man. And you're like, man, if I had to live my whole life like that, I would fucking kill myself. Or believe in conspiracies and all that other shit.
That movie made it seem like, to me, it made both sides look kind of bad in different ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought, and I thought it was a nice moment of like, hey, it's your choice, man. You can look at both sides of this and decide which side you want to be on here, and it's up to you. I didn't think they were going one way or the other, and I enjoyed the film, and I thought the acting was great. And they don't give you an answer at the end, to where you're like, hey, this is what this is or not what it is. And for the conspiracy theorists out there, it does end in a conspiracy where you're like, it's the government's behind everything. I'll answer some of your questions here in the chat because there's a lot. Okay. Let's see. This is Salty Texan, says Agamemnon's, whatever. I know I'm going to fuck this up. Armor was super annoying. It's like they tried to mix Darth Vader and Batman aura farming. It looked horrible and plastic. Okay. That was another note that I had about this movie, and you and I were talking about this right before we came on air. The Trojan horse was bronze. And all the things that I had read and seen and everything else, it was made of wood, right?
Well, because I think even from the original story, they had disassembled some of their ships to make the Trojan horse. So
that's what I thought too.
Or a wood.
It was a bright red bronze horse where you're just like, okay. It's these little things in every single scene where you're like, okay. Somebody else is asking about AMC and how people report.
Real quick, this is Agamemnon's armor here, and this is fucking ridiculous. He looks like that Shaq superhero.
It looks
character
like Batman. That's when the character pops out. By the way, it looks like Batman. You're like, okay. But people are asking like how you report from the theaters. So you have to physically either order online or walk up to the theater and pay. I walked up to the theater with a credit card. I was in a theater that didn't have assigned seating. A lot of theaters have assigned seating now. So with the guy who was talking about it there earlier in the chat, it was Runaway Slav. There was one film that I went to opening weekend that there was like 10 of us in there, but my block, and this was assigned seating though, my block said that all these seats were sold out and nobody came. Like 3 entire rows were empty opening weekend. And it was like, God, I want to say it was like Jurassic Park or something like that. And I was with my kid. My kid's like, yo, dude, I thought this movie was doing well. And I was like, it is, but yeah, that money would have to come from someone else. It's not the theaters that would jack that up at all. If it was up to the theaters, they would jack up every movie because theaters make money off of concessions. That's it. They don't really make a lot of money. Like the split is it's like 80-20 on movies. Like the studio makes 80, they make 20, and then they make money off of concession stands. The concession is why your popcorn is $15. That's where their money.
AMC could not front $100 million.
I don't think so either. And so like I want to take that possibility off the table. I just don't think it's there. Now, again, the second weekend will determine what this is actually going to do. If it falls off the face of the earth, it does. There was a movie when I was growing up that did really well opening weekend with Will Smith called The Wild Wild West. Look up The Wild Wild West opening weekend box office numbers.
Hey, you know what? That's actually an example of early race swapping in Hollywood because in the original TV show, the character West, I think it's Jim West or something like that, the character that he plays is a white dude.
Okay. Do you have the numbers for it?
Yeah, so it earned $27 million during its opening weekend, and it reached a total of $40 million for the full Independence Day holiday frame.
So $40 million for opening weekend. So back in the day, that was pretty fucking good because I think it was in the 90s. Today's inflation, you can pretty much double that. So that probably would have came out about 80, 88 million for today's standards.
It had a production budget of 170 million.
Right. And then it just shit the bed a second weekend. So you start to get into these territories where you make a movie for 200 million bucks or 150 and above with the advertising and all that shit. You've got to essentially double that to break even, and then everything else after that is profit. The last possibility here is that everybody loves Christopher Nolan so much that they simply don't care. And they're just willing to go see anything he does over and over and over again, analyze it, look for Easter eggs, all that other shit. And maybe he's like the Taylor Swift of filmmaking right now, where it's just, I don't care what you put out. I'm going to be there. I support shit, and I'm looking for the 80 different things behind the scenes. Maybe there was something dropped in the sand or something like that. And maybe he just is that famous as a director where it's just you're going to see his shit over and over again.
And I mean, realistically, as far as modern or like current popular directors that do put a lot of hidden symbolism in their films, Nolan would probably be at the top of the list if you are the type of person that wants to repeatedly see a movie to find hidden details. But I mean, that would be a lot of repeat viewers to get the numbers up that high.
Right. And then somebody else in the chat is asking about the 70 millimeters and why it's sold out for weeks and weeks. That is true. Because there is a lot of traditionalists who want to see it in 70, like that Super 70.
People were buying those tickets a year ago.
A year ago, yeah. And they went on sale a year ago. So all of that is legit. I would love to tell you otherwise, but no. What you don't want to do is run a movie in 70 and then have nobody in the theaters. That would be embarrassing. People would take pictures online and like you would know that it's fake. So... yeah, it's hard to buy the conspiracy. I wonder if the audience, though, was half like me, where I already went in with a negative feeling about it, and I could admit that. But you can always change my mind. I went in with a negative feeling about one battle after another after reading some of those reviews, and I was like, eh.
How are you feeling after the first 15 minutes?
Of one battle after another?
Yeah.
I didn't know what the fuck it was. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
That first 15 minutes, man, that was a wild ride.
No shit, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Hey, you like black girls? I love black girls. Yeah. You're just like, whoa, shit. Okay. But there's a lot of movies like that surprise me or have a great ending, and maybe I didn't like 2/3 of it, and then the ending was redeeming or something like that. I just saw one. Is that we literally see everything. I felt that way about Disclosure Day with Spielberg. I just thought the story was a mess. The messaging was a mess, all of it, and I didn't like the film. And I love Steven Spielberg. I love all of his movies.
Spielberg has kind of been. I mean, when was his last really good movie? Didn't he? He hasn't been doing amazing lately.
What was his last movie in general? Was it Super 8?
No, it was an Oscar movie. It was about his family, and I think they were Jews. I'm not kidding. Thank you. Like Meet the Fables or the Fablesons or something like that. Look it up, Luke. I know he was nominated, and so are the actors.
Yeah, the Fablemans.
The Fablemans, that's it. All right, what about before that?
Marcus Mumford. Oh, that's a music video. West Side Story.
Oh, yeah, shit. All right.
Ready Player One.
I forgot about Ready Player One. That was a pretty decent book adaptation.
Let's see.
The Post.
West Side Story was nominated for a bunch of Oscars. Yeah, The Post was nominated for Oscars. It's Steven Spielberg.
That's fair. Yeah,
I didn't know he did the BFG. That one was pretty good, too.
Yeah.
Did he really? He did that, too?
Yeah, as far as a book adaptation goes, that one was solid.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's fine to miss. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude, we've all missed. I don't really care, but I think also with the political age we're in right now, yeah, you're gonna have problems with all this shit. Now,
Paul Dano and the Fablemans.
There you go, Paul
Classic,
Dano.
Yeah.
Tarantino hates him.
Tarantino hates that guy.
But the one trap that I hope we don't fall into after this fucking movie is Hollywood saying, "See, we told you so." We've got to be more inclusive. We got to put trans. We got to have different races.
I don't think that
because this one worked. Well, typically,
yes, it depends. Well, if the movie's good, that's what makes people go to the theater, right? If it's bad, I mean, there's movies that push this sort of narrative, but they're bad movies, and then they bomb. You know what I mean?
Did you like Backrooms?
I did not watch it yet.
I did not like it, and I knew nothing about it. And that, by the way,
like a different movie. It sounds like a movie that specific people are gonna like. Like it's it's an A24 movie that's like kind of experimental.
I love A24. Same thing. I just didn't like the storyline of it and the script. If they would have had a better script, I think it could have been an excellent. I think it could have been an excellent film.
It wasn't like a woke movie, though, was it?
No.
Exactly. See,
but that's another thing, though, that made $1 gajillion that everybody's trying to figure out. And so with that one, my son was like, "Why did?" Because he's super fascinated with movies.
Phenomenon, I feel like.
And that's what I said. I said, he goes, "How did this do so well?" Because he didn't like that movie either. And I'll always ask him first because I don't want to put. If my children like anything, I don't want to pollute the waters and say Dad didn't like it, right? I'll just go along with it and be like, great, awesome, okay. We had a great day today. That's more important to me is just hanging out with my kids versus getting into some fucking argument about a stupid movie. I don't care about that. But with Backrooms, he had said the same thing, and he goes, how did this make so much money? And I go, well, look, if you look at that guy's YouTube following, I think he's got like 8 million followers. You only have to make that kind of money. Based on today's box office sales, you only have to get 250,000 of his fans to go out and see that movie. And then you make the money. So that could be your new path. Obsession was the same way. That made like $250 million. Guy had a big YouTube following.
That one, though, is a little bit different in my opinion because he did have a YouTube following and like an online following and stuff. But the movie was also really good. I feel like I think you're right about the Backrooms that it does not have as wide of an audience as something like Obsession. So as people went to Obsession, the word of mouth spread, and now it's like that movie is way bigger than Backrooms.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. But if you can get 10% of your followers to go and see something, you're gonna win. You're gonna draw in a ton of money. Whereas Christopher Nolan and then 8 million celebrities, like I was in before the backlash. Like, I was in. I wasn't amped that he did it. I mean, the day that this got announced, we actually talked about it on air, that he was doing the Odyssey, and I go, man, why that? Like, no one's ever gotten bricked up over the Odyssey, It's such a difficult thing to tackle, a 1,000-page book. I've never gotten bricked up over the Iliad or anything else, and even presidents. They refuse to make movies about presidents. There's a movie doing well right now called Young Washington. It's about George Washington. I didn't hear 2 fucking words about the goddamn movie. And then I finally saw the trailer over the weekend, and it's doing really, really fucking well. Nobody's talking about this, and it's George Washington. And they launched it on America's 250th birthday and all that other shit. And I'm like, what is this? I don't even know the dude in it, for Christ's sakes. That's how little press it's gotten.
Looks like Andy Serkis is in it. That's cool.
Andy Serkis, is he a monkey running around?
yeah.
I feel like that's all he can do.
The
or
monkey
like
that
some
goes on young Washington's shoulder.
Gollum or Ghoul or whatever it is. But this movie's doing very well. Not one word has been said about it. Not one word. I heard about it I follow Chris Pratt on Instagram, and he said he had just gotten out of it and loved it. And I was like, oh, shit, I'll look up the trailer. I didn't even know this existed.
That was a way that I first heard about it, was that Chris Pratt video.
Yeah, him talking about it. But yeah, let's see. Somebody's asking me, what's my movie of the year then if it's not The Odyssey? That's a great question, actually, because I've seen fucking everything right now. There is some movies I'm waiting to see before I make that decision. I think the Tom Cruise movie looks intriguing. I have no fucking idea what it's about, though, even after watching the trailer. I think Digger looks amazing. Just because it kind of feels like a Les Grossman type Tropic Thunder character for Tom Cruise. And then I saw an excellent trailer in the theater with Brad Pitt and a dog. He's like a special forces guy. He's a retired special forces guy. And he gets into a plane crash and he's forced to go over this crazy terrain with his dog. Look it up. I forget the name of the movie. But it comes out in October as well, or September, I believe. So there's a ton of stuff coming out.
Part of the Beast.
Yeah. It was a crazy lights out trailer, and I had never heard anything about it. I was like, whoa. So that and Digger are coming out. I'm excited about that.
Dune Part 3?
Nope.
Oh, dude.
I'm excited about that.
I will watch it because I want to complete it. That's the last one, right? I saw the first 2, and I thought they were great. But the more and more you keep dragging these fucking things out, it's like, okay, great. Was it a 3-part book series?
No, there's 20.
There's a
either
bunch of
23.
books.
Oh, Christ.
23
Is there going to
or
be 20
26
movie?
No,
Okay.
no.
No,
This is the last movie.
they're finished. Villeneuve's approach to it is done after book 3, and also I think that this actually completes the original series by Frank Herbert. The rest of them were written by his son, and there's a lot of the fans that don't like the ones his son wrote.
Great. Okay, so I'll see Dune 3. If you start getting into the higher ups, then no. Like Harry Potter, I read all the books. I stopped watching the movies after like 4. I was like, oh, we're going to do all of these, huh?
Dude,
Okay.
you stopped at 4? 4
well,
was my favorite one.
Movies, movie-wise, right?
That was my favorite movie.
Bluke, I just can't watch children for that long, like over and
Okay,
over
that's
and over
fair. I
again.
get that. That's understandable.
But the books were excellent. The books were, I read every fucking book when it came out. But yeah, you got this coming out. Man, favorite movie of the year so far. Read me some of the top ones here, and I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah, so we got
I've literally
Disclosure
seen
Day.
everything. Nope. I hated that.
Okay. The Odyssey backgrounds. Project Hail Mary. What'd you think of that?
I loved it. I love Project
awesome.
Hail Mary. Yeah, that was a great film, man. Ryan Gosling was fucking fantastic in that.
Yeah, on that flight back from Idaho over the weekend. Well, actually, on the flight to Idaho and the flight back, everybody on the plane was either watching the Michael Jackson movie or Project Hail Mary.
God, as much as I hate to say it, the Michael Jackson movie was good.
That's what I keep hearing.
It was. By the way, that's another one where I didn't. I walked in with a negative feeling, and I left, and it was it was just Michael. Like the music starts playing, and it got me. The dude was so good. I think he'll be nominated for an Oscar. I really do. What else? What else came out already?
We got The Sheep Detectives.
No,
Kids movie.
no.
The Invite.
I Play Rocky's on this list. We
Play
just showed that
Rocky.
trailer. Cannot wait. Cannot wait to see that movie. That looks excellent.
That looks great.
That's why I said, if you want to go top movies of this half, we'll do that. Go ahead.
So this movie I haven't really heard much about, but it's on a lot of people's list.
The
like
Invites.
top.
Yep.
The Invite.
Yep.
I have not seen it though. Have you seen it?
So this is one where like my Hollywood friends are just like, yo, this is the best movie so far this year. And I'm like, come on, man. But I think Seth Rogen's in it. And that's my detractor, where if I'm going to go see a drama, do I really want to see something with Seth Rogen?
Dude, when comedians do dramas though, it can be kind of a masterpiece sometimes.
It can be, but it's really, really difficult.
Robin Williams and Adam Sandler are good examples of comedians that can.
Jim Carrey in Sunshine Eternals, So this is on my list though, for sure. Only because so many people have hit me up about it, and Edward Norton's been doing a lot of press. What else we got there?
Evil Dead Burn.
Don't do that.
Not an Evil Dead person.
Don't do that.
I'm a huge Evil Dead fan. I'm looking forward to that one.
Keep going. Keep going.
Of course, Digger's coming out. The new Spider-Man.
It looks great, but it's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Keep going. Disclosure Day. I hated.
Toy Story 5.
Toy Story. All the Toy Stories are great. You're fine there, but you're also in the 5th one. That's not going to be your beat off movie. Sorry. And if it is, you should go get checked out or arrested. You should be arrested.
Else for Isabel. I don't know what that is. Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
Yeah, no interest in seeing that either. I know Brendan Fraser's getting in shape for it.
Oh, if it's got Brendan Fraser,
It's
I'm in.
original cast is coming back for the Mummy.
That's cool.
Dude, yeah,
That's
sold.
cool.
That is going to be the next movie
has
that I
a
see in the
6.2.
theaters.
Yeah, but dating back on the history of the show, Jesse has always been a Brendan head, dude, a Frasier head, and I
Jealous?
have not. Yeah, I am. Because that's how she likes.
Well, you should just have her watch
She
The Whale,
wants me to
you
be
know?
fat, and well, not whale fat, but like Brendan Fraser fat, and just kind of
Little pudgy.
yeah, like she doesn't want a jack dude or anything.
Did you get skinny for this movie?
Which one?
The Mummy. The
So
new one.
he said in an interview he was gonna, fucking get jacked up for it and try to go back to what he used to be or whatever. So yeah, but who knows? Scroll back. I wonder if this is a different Mummy too. By the way, everybody's doing these goddamn things. What's the difference between Lee Cronin and the other dude?
This one here looks like a straight up horror movie. The Mummy series that I'm thinking of with Brendan Fraser definitely wasn't horror.
Yeah, no. It's like an action adventure. Yes. Yeah. Anyways,
this is Cronin. Is that like Cronenberg, like the body horror guy?
Who knows? I know this. They are reshooting them. They're redoing the Mummy with the original cast.
Maybe that's coming out later. And this is just
and this is just some little fucking knockoff. What else?
Yeah, they're saying in the chat it's not the same.
Okay.
Damal 4, Bollywood we got going on.
No.
Have you guys ever watched a Bollywood movie?
Yeah, I wrote one.
Did you actually?
I sold one to Hollywood or Bollywood, excuse me.
I feel like you'd be great at that.
Do you know what it was? It was the movie I met Jesse on, 50K and a Call Girl Love Story. So they made it into a Bollywood film.
What?
And I got paid a lot of money.
Hell yeah!
Great. It's weird because that movie didn't do well, and I was pretty disappointed, because we thought the film was great, and it didn't do well. It was the time of DVD to streaming, and so everybody wanted to. When's it coming on Netflix? When is it for free? And I was like, it's not. And when a movie that you work so hard on, I think I worked on that for like 3 years. When it bombs, it sucks, dude. It fucking sucks. So the saving grace was somebody from Bollywood was watching it on a plane, and then they called and bought the rights to it, and I was like, holy shit, thank you. And I went through the first meeting because I thought it was bullshit. I was like, this can't be real. This movie didn't do well here, but it was a great film. I really liked the film. I get a call, and it was Sting's attorney. He did the deal for me in America and them in Bollywood. And so I worked with that dude for a month, which was wild, Gangster of an agency, but it's fucking bizarre, man. Bizarre. Yeah. And they told me about the dance sequences and all that shit.
I was going to say, did they want you to go back and film dance sequences?
No, I wasn't in it. So they were taking the concepts and then just remaking it for India.
Oh, gotcha.
Where a guy picks up same story. I mean, same exact story, but it's awesome. It's a Bollywood version, yeah. And
have you watched it?
So I asked for in the contract, other than money, I asked for flights and premiere tickets, which is pretty traditional, And they called back and they were like, "Do you know how much a first class ticket is to India?" And I was like, "No, I've never been." And they were like, "And I don't think you're going to get to." Okay, so this hill isn't worth dying on. Take the check and don't ask for that shit. So we had to pull that out of the contract. I never got to see it.
Yeah, when I went to India like almost 10 years ago now, we went to a movie theater and watched a Bollywood movie, and it was extremely cold in the theater. I remember thinking that, and also the sound was overmodulated by a little bit, and so my ears were killing me the entire time. And there was a part in it where there's of course dance sequences, but there was one part where there was like a school shooting that happened in the movie, but they blurred out the gun because they couldn't show the gun in the movie theater. Yeah. It was so crazy.
I got all those warnings, and I said, I don't care. I will never be there to see it. And so that paycheck you were talking about, that's what I'm really here for.
Anyways, we can go back to the movies.
Yeah, well, I've seen everything. So Supergirl, no.
Michael, Minions and Monsters you liked.
Yeah, but that's a child's movie.
Yeah, Supergirl, Heartstopper Forever. Don't know what that is. The Drama. Have you seen The Drama?
Mm-mm.
It was good. I liked it.
Okay.
Ica. Don't know what that is. Netflix movie, I guess. Enola Holmes 3. Another Netflix movie.
Young Washington's on there.
Masters of the Universe. That's He-Man.
No.
I want to watch that. I haven't seen it.
Jared Leto. And I was already out of that. I was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, whenever I see him on the cast, I tap out.
That's fair. That's fair. Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. Should have just called it Ready or Not, Here I Come.
I know.
The Whisper Man. I don't know what that is. Netflix movie. Mayday. Don't know what that is. Devil Wears Prada 2.
I heard it was great, actually.
Are they actually getting Anne Hathaway?
They already did, yeah. And it made $1 gajillion. Yeah, very successful. Women loved it. I loved the first one. I thought it was very good.
6.4.
Yeah, that was kind of in between the move for me, so I wasn't going to see a lot of movies. Heading back and forth to Texas.
Dune Part 3, of course.
Yeah, and they usually save the big boys for the end of the year for the Oscar movies and shit. Summer's popcorn movies and fun and everything else. Oppenheimer kind of broke that streak a couple years ago when it won everything, because they put that with head to head with Barbie, if you guys remember correctly.
I remember that.
Barbenheimer.
Yeah. I did Barbenheimer.
Yeah, I did too. I watched both in the same day. Yeah,
It was fun.
I did not like Barbie. Loved Oppenheimer.
Barbie was kind of sterile for me.
Same.
Like. Yeah.
Same.
Hope. Don't know what that is.
It's about Hope Solo's asshole.
I was just going to ask.
The whole movie is about her asshole. It's very well done.
Remarkably Bright Creatures sounds interesting. Send Help.
Send Help was good, but it was just a fun, popcorn movie. I like that.
Is it worth watching, you think?
Yeah, for sure. If you're just looking for a fun, little thing, it's got a cool premise. It's about a chick who works in an office. They're on a plane, and it's just her and her boss that survives. She knows how to do survival skills. He doesn't.
Rachel McAdams?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been wanting to see that. It looks really good.
I liked it. But you're not getting typically your Oscar movies and shit at the beginning of the year. So, yeah. But next weekend, we'll kind of give you all you need to know. And then I'll just kind of break down here what the new standards are to win an Oscar and tell me that the Odyssey doesn't fit this to a T. So standard A is on-screen representation. They just get nominated for Best Picture. Focuses on underrepresented groups in lead or significant supporting roles, ensemble casts, or central storylines. So you got to have a black, gay, fucking, Latinx or whatever in the lead. And you have all of that. You get all of that across the board in this. Standard B, creative leadership and project team focuses on underrepresented groups and department heads and broader crew positions. So that means your art department. It's got to be a lesbian or something, or disabled or whatever, man. Now that would have been great. Let's say your art department was forced to use wheelchairs all through the sand in the Odyssey. That would have been awesome to see those guys put that shit together. Just a bunch of cappers, dude, out there wheeling through the sand trying to figure out life, dude. God, that would have been awesome. Standard C requires the production or distribution company to offer paid apprenticeships, internships, and training opportunities for underrepresented people. You just can't be white, guys, all right? And so by that, they mean what? Women, racial or ethnic groups, LGBTQ, people with cognitive or physical disabilities, or who are deaf or hard of hearing. This is fucking insane, guys. And this is, by the way, they had one of these in every single category. So that's it. He wants to get nominated for an Oscar, and he probably will. Probably will.
Have you seen Begonia?
Yes.
That movie's crazy.
I liked Begonia.
Begonia was good.
I like Begonia. That was last year with Emma Stone. Yeah. She was nominated for an Oscar. But if this is what we're doing here, and this was the movie to kick this off, there would be your conspiracy, I guess.
I noticed that there's one requirement on the list that's kind of suspiciously absent, and that is it's a good movie.
Yep.
No requirement for it to be a good movie.
No. And I think with Christopher Nolan in particular, because he swept all the awards for Oppenheimer, and rightfully so. It was a great movie. Under these current guidelines, you wouldn't have been nominated for anything.
Well, I'm looking at
because that was all whites. The whole cast was whites.
It looks like this started 6 years ago, maybe?
It did,
in 2022.
So it started, well, that's when it got voted in. However, it didn't kick in until 2025. So
beginning in 2024.
There you go.
96. Okay.
Yep. So then you're heading into the 25 Oscars, and now 26 with this. And I think, who won? What was Best Picture last year? Was one battle after another? That fit all those categories.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. You had a Latinxer as a lead. You had a black chick. You had all the things, multiple. All of it across the board.
I personally,
but I didn't notice. I wasn't walking in thinking about that. Where I was walking in thinking about it with this.
Yeah, it says Anora won.
Oh, Anora, that's right.
Oh my god, dude, that was the worst fucking
Is that the
movie.
Musical?
Yeah, remember about the trans?
Oh my god.
No, it wasn't. No.
Yes,
it wasn't about trans people.
It was
about a stripper.
Oh, we must be thinking of something. Well, the one that I'm thinking of is the one with
else.
Zoe Saldana.
Anora was about. Oh yeah, that was crazy.
The drug dealer turns into a trans.
I remember that, but Anora is about a stripper. It's something different.
Look it up. I think that's the one where the drug dealer turns into a trans.
No, I know what you're thinking of.
Oh no, it's not. It's a.
You're thinking of that Netflix movie with the.
Oh, yes. Okay. Honora was the hooker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That movie meet. I'm trying to think if that movie would have met the standard. I feel like it wouldn't have.
I don't know.
I feel like that movie was all white people.
Honora?
Yeah.
The lead actress looks like a Latinx.
She's Russian.
Oh.
All right. I don't know how you classify that. But either way, I hope this doesn't change every film to go into this direction, because it is polarizing. Like you sit there and you think about it the entire time. When I go to movies to not think for like 2 hours. I don't take my phone. I don't take anything. I just want to relax, have a good time, and not really think about all this shit. Instead of every scene you're waiting to see is like, is Elliot Page going to come back to life? You know, and then he does, and you're just like, okay.
Well, I think stories in general used to be more focused, because any story told has a message to it, whether you really want it to or not. And the messages in a lot of stories used to be actual useful life lessons that endured through generations. But the messages that people are trying to push across nowadays are just like trying to spoon feed people their ideology.
Yes. Yeah. And you can change it by doing what the YouTubers did. I mean, you can do whatever you want now, in my opinion. And I think with the use of AI, as it gets better and better, Netflix on Friday was forced to state in their quarterly reports, I think 800 of their films and TV shows had AI in it, and people were blown away. They were like, whoa, shit. And I told you they bought Ben Affleck's AI company for, what was it? $587 million.
Damn.
Bro.
It makes you wonder if it's worth it. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
What could Ben Affleck's AI startup possibly have that's worth $587 million?
Or if they want him to be the face of it, to take the heat, because it's going to cost a lot of jobs.
Yeah. That's a good point.
By the way, you know who else who just sold their AI company? The guy who was railed against it for fucking 10 years, Martin Scorsese. Type that in and see how much he made off of his company. He was, cinema. You're going to go to the theaters, blah, blah, blah.
And he's shilling that the one where you can like reframe entire scenes, right? Like you're completely taking the crew out of the...
Correct.
I'm not seeing that he sold it yet. I'm sure that's coming.
Yeah, it did. He sold it.
Okay, one second.
And I believe he's on the board too. So like... Yeah, and then the latest was Doug Liman, who directed, The Bourne Identities and Swingers and all that stuff. He just finished a $70 million all AI movie. So it's all real actors. They're in this thing called the Gray Box, and I think it's like a 400 square foot room, and there's dots everywhere, and then the scenery is what the $70 million is on to pay for the AI. But there's a rumor behind the scenes that like they're just trying to sell that company, and they ponied up the money for Doug Liman to do it, to be the first to do it. Pull up that Gray Box. I just want to see what that looks like on the inside. Type in Gray Box.
This is the website for it.
This is it right here? Yeah. Okay, so you stand there in this box, and then what? It's all kind of green screen all the way around you, or?
So it looks like it's the 3D, like, software aspect it's showing. It's not showing.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So it's kind of like video games where they put the ping pong balls on.
It looks like you just make a basic structure, and then here's the thing. A cozy medieval village forest, and then it just does it for you. It builds it out, and then the AI video
will go on top of that. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Yeah, but I'm curious to see that too. Because that will also change filmmaking. Because I don't think anybody's going to care about standards anymore. They're going to throw that out the window and say, hey, I don't want to put 50 different genders in this goddamn thing to compete for an Oscar. I just want to beat you. And I was talking to Jared 2 nights ago. He had AI this little thing for Two Wills Alone, and this has been an ongoing joke on the show forever. And I go, man, it's getting close. You're not that far off. I mean, it's still not great, but you can tell that it will be and all that shit. And yeah, dude, there will be ways out of this. If you're out there and you're a filmmaker and you're like, I don't want to put fucking all this bullshit in a movie, there will easily be ways out of this in the future. But we'll keep an eye on this as it goes. I did see a lot of people, though, that said that I loved the film, like listeners.
Yeah, there's been people in the chat today saying that they really enjoyed it.
Yeah. So and by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, art is subjective. Movies are subjective. Comedy's subjective. Podcasts, all of it. And it's totally fine. Just because I didn't like it doesn't mean somebody else can't. I think that's elitist, too, where you're saying to people, hey, dude, it's fucking bullshit. Movie sucks. It's like, no, you can like whatever film you want. I'm just saying my personal experience. Now, what I was surprised to see is two guys on the right, like Shapiro. What did he say? I saw the headline, but I didn't hear the clip. You got any volume on that?
Stand by. We'll figure out the problem.
All right. Because he went on fucking, I think, just live and talked about how great it was. No. And then same with Ruben. Ruben did as well. Said it was a masterpiece. I think both of them said masterpiece. So, I don't know. If you're out there, make up your own mind. Let's see if anybody in the chat has seen it there. Greg Lemon saying so that, hey, that looks like shit. No, it's not Minecraft. So they're putting the movie over those Minecraft images there. So that's not the film itself. That's just the outline for it.
And
it'll map on over that.
They make it look like this, and then use AI and make it look like that.
Potentially, and that's, by the way, they're just using an example. That's not what the film is. We have nobody has any idea what the film is, but you're just kind of mapping it on in post there. But I have seen it pop up in movies here and there.
I think you can make that case.
There you go. Well, let's see what he has to say here.
It doesn't take me out of the film that there's a multiracial cast. If you want to make the case everybody needs to be Greek to be authentic, I think you can make that case. If you want to make the case everybody has to be white, I think that is a lesser case because white people and Greek are not quite the same thing. It doesn't take me out of the film.
Okay. Interesting.
I mean, it's a surprising take from him, but yeah, I mean, honestly, overall, this is one of the first movies in a long time where I feel like I need to go see it just to understand. Like,
I did too. I didn't want to just keep talking about something that I didn't know about. Like, I'll go and do it. I'll go and do the thing. So at least I can give you an informed opinion on it. I mean,
this really could just be more of Christopher Nolan's genius, where you put it together this way specifically to drive people from all sides to go and check it out.
I have no idea, dude. I would love to have that conversation, but when you cancel a movie for critics, that's never happened from one of his movies before. He's never done that. Or he didn't want critics seeing it and reviewing it. Now they did.
I think what people were talking about there was just the review embargo, which is normal, I think.
What do you mean?
Like, if it was for people who were going to the movie early, like they weren't allowed to it was for spoiler reasons, I think. I think review embargoes are pretty normal like that.
No, so they wanted. So typically they'll invite critics a week or two before to kind of rate and review the movie, so it can get out there and then get pressed for the movie. But he shut it off for critics. So the people that were actual film critics had to go to the premiere or anything else. Shit, even my buddy who's in the goddamn movie didn't see it until the premiere. So
it wasn't a review embargo like what you were talking about. They were just canceling
and Moana too. They turned off the live action version of Moana. They said we're not doing reviews, and they but that they knew was that bombed. It lost a lot of money for Disney. So clearly there was something there.
It came out.
Oh, you didn't even know that it came out?
No.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago.
I don't pay attention to those movies anyways.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So
I do not care about those live action remakes at all.
I don't either. But that's the first one. Well, they had a couple other ones, but yeah. It's just this is a gigantic head scratcher to me. I would love for there to. By the way, nothing would make me happier than to come out with some crazy story that something was bought out or something, because I cannot wrap my mind around this one. I don't think I've ever been this wrong about a movie. And I was wrong. I said this was going to bomb. I was way off. And even after watching it, I would tell you if I thought it was great. And I was like, holy shit, I just missed the boat on this one. No. So I can't figure it out. And that's, for me personally, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. if I can't figure something out, I will try to stay up late and go down rabbit holes and all the other shit. This one, I cannot wrap my mind around. I really can't. And again, the choices, like all these guys are such great actors. You could have had them just do a million different things, but
I mean, when it comes to Chris Nolan movies, I kind of expect that he's going to have a million A-list actors, and then he's going to utilize them very, very little. You know what I mean? Because he did that with Oppenheimer too, right? Like, yeah. That's just his thing. I feel
They pop up for like 2 seconds or whatever. I'm not a fan of that, but they were all good at least. Whereas this one, got a guy showing up doing a New York accent, and then Matt Damon's doing Midwest. You know, you're like, okay, what part of America are we from here? What are we doing here? I hope it's all just a fucking huge joke and a fuck you at the end of the day. I really do. And I appreciate you tuning in and trying to figure this out with me today. But also, I would have figured with how much money this movie made, but there had been more people that seen it in the chat.
Yeah, I think I've only seen 2 or 3 people in the chat that said they watched it.
I mean, we don't really have the audience of people that would probably go out and watch that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But it's a big movie. It's a big summer movie that made $1 gajillion. Like,
I mean, I haven't seen it, but I'm probably going to see it this weekend, you know?
But why are you guys going to see it? Because of the controversy or because of Christopher Nolan?
Well, overall, yeah, I was going to watch it just because it's a Christopher Nolan movie, but I was going to wait until it comes out on streaming because I'm not a big fan of going to theaters. I'll go see this one in the theater just because I don't want to wait a year before it gets to streaming.
Another thing that was odd. I don't know if anybody else had this, but the sound was off.
That's a Chris Nolan thing too.
It was really loud.
Really?
For no reason. Like
Usually
it was.
It's too quiet.
No. So like for certain scene, and I know what he's doing. Like I know what he's doing in Oppenheimer and all that other shit. Like and I like that. But for this one, it was loud as shit, and like the chairs were shaking, and you were like, okay, but it should be shaking for like a big explosion or a bigger scene, not this. God, there was just a million things I could not figure out about this fucking movie. I really couldn't. And maybe that is the whole conundrum of this, where you have so many people that love it and hate it, and everybody's going to see it just to figure out the answer of what it is. And I would love to tell you there's a fucking twist at the end, it's like Shyamalan or something like that, but no.
You're telling me that the Odyssey doesn't have a twist at the end?
Right. The book. Because somebody else online, I said the story about walking out 2.5 hours in or whatever it was, and they were like, "Oh, well, you didn't even stay to see it." And I go, "Yeah, but I read the book. We all know the ending of it, unless he changed it, you know."
Well, Ivan in the chat, he's the one that's been talking about liking the movie so much and recommending that we go see it. He's saying that the last hour is the best part of the movie, so that essentially the hour that you missed would be the part that you should stay.
There was a lot of people that said that too. Yeah.
I mean, he could have pulled like a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and changed the ending, right?
Yeah, but let's say that is the case, right? That the last hour was amazing. To ask people to sit through 2 hours of that is a lot because it was slow as shit. There was a couple cool battle scenes. Like I said, the Cyclops shit was dope. That was a cool scene, and then the Trojan horse to an extent. If you could wrap your mind around that it was iron. I just was like, how do you drag that? They show you, but I'm like, it's pretty fucking heavy, dude.
Yeah, bronze is not light.
No. And you're pushing it from the ocean all the way in inland, so yeah, dude. That would take forever. But yeah, leave the comments. I'm dying to know what you guys think. Dying to fucking know and dying to have this answer here. Now, Jesse didn't come with me, so luckily, should take our child to urgent care for the earache, and she didn't have to deal with this bullshit today, She was probably like, bro, I don't want any fucking part of this. But also, she had no desire to see it.
Really?
None. And she loves films. There's another one I'm looking forward to, the Anthony Bourdain one that's coming out. That looks good, too.
Oh, yeah.
With the young Bourdain. But if you want my prediction, just because it's Hollywood, to end the show, I think it gets nominated for a record amount of Oscars because it followed the rules that they wanted. And We included everyone, and this is what this is all about. And by the way, that was like the messaging of the movie too.
I think there's no chance that it doesn't just sweep the Oscars.
I'm sure.
With the people that are choosing the movies for the Oscars,
Yes.
this is right up their alley.
100%. 100%. Like, I think this probably wins all the awards. I really do. Because it does check all the boxes that they asked you to check. And Hollywood's going to say, hey, man, we told you. We fucking told you, man. Inclusion is the way. It's like, okay.
Now, what do you think the chances are that this wins? That wins the record amount of numbers for any of the a record amount of rewards or awards for Christopher Nolan movies?
I will say this now. I don't know if Kalshi's got it up or somebody like that. Be too early for my bookie, I think. But if I was gambling today, I would say it'll set the record for most nominations in the history of the Oscars.
Agreed.
Because they want it to. Not because it's a great film, but because they want it to. And this will prove everything that they've said about what they do, that, hey, you can have all this diversity and inclusion and represent people's voices and blah, 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 and it can make a shit ton of money. Because the money part is the one you can't argue about, unfortunately. I don't know where that would come from.
Yeah, so he won Best Director for Oppenheimer and Best Picture for Oppenheimer, and that's all he's won. He was nominated for other stuff, but that's all for wins.
That's madness, really. Because he is fucking the greatest. Like, you know, despite this movie. I wonder if this gets like a Tarantino juiced off, where he goes to the theater and he says, fuck yeah, I want to make another movie again. Or I didn't like it, I want to make a better movie than him. I'm tired of people talking about Christopher Nolan. I wonder if it's like sports, where like Kobe wanted to beat Jordan, or, you know, like, I wonder how that works out. So, Kalshi's got it? I fucking knew it, dude. 69%
Nice.
for Christopher Nolan winning. Wow. And then Digger's number 2. What about Best Picture? So that's Best Director, which yes, I think they're going to give him all the things.
Yeah, for sure.
All the things. And the hilarious part about it, with all the inclusion in this movie and diversity and LGBTQ, trans, whatever the fuck, it'll still be a white man at the end of the day who wins all the awards. Okay? Odyssey, yes, they got him at 50% on Kalshi, winning the whole fucking thing.
But, you know, Doom Part 3 and Digger have not come out yet, so it's kind of not fair.
If they didn't give it to Dune for the first one, it's not getting anything.
The first one was the worst one of the 2 hour right now, and I'm sure 3 is going to be fucking sick too.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was a huge fan of both.
So was I. And I like I like two better than one.
Same
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
It is the better movie.
Now that I know it's only 3, then I'll go see the third one. I just don't want to get caught in something like 5, 6 deep. Where I'm like,
fair.
And I love Fast and Furious, guys. Okay, family. But I've only seen like 3 or 4 of those.
Yeah, I've never really got into those ones either.
I checked out when Vin Diesel left. I think it was the second one. He wanted $30 million.
Wait, he was only in the first 2?
Yeah, and then they ended up bringing him back because the second one bombed without him, and they were like, "Oh shit, we're sorry. What do you want?" He goes, "I want 30% of the movie on the back end. I want $30 million a movie." And they were like, "All right, we'll do it. We'll see how this does." And it exploded. And I think he's worth like $500 million now. Yeah. He blew most of it though on a video game. He's a nerd in real life.
I know he's a big World of Warcraft fan, and he's a Dungeons and Dragons fan. But do you know what game he spending all his money on, like World of Warcraft?
But put it in there. It was an original game. Because you can make a shit ton of money, but you can also go bankrupt.
He is an avid fan of World of Warcraft.
Which
he would play with Paul Walker.
Oh, R.I.P., dude.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
He plays Dungeons and Dragons.
But just type in
Higgins Studios.
That's it.
Game developer owned by One Race Films, focused primarily on on games featuring actor. They only make games with Vin Diesel in
Yes. Yes, dude.
it. The Chronicles of Riddick is it looks like.
Okay.
I played that. Vin Diesel is also going to be a main character in a sequel to a game called Ark that I'm a big fan of. He's going to be in Ark 2, and I'm really, really looking forward to that if they ever finish it. It's been in development for like 10 fucking years.
Survival? Or?
Yeah, Ark Survival Ascended and Evolved.
Okay, cool.
All right. Yeah. Vin Diesel, dude. Family. Speaking of family, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We even gained a subscriber here on YouTube in 2 years, and that's been fun. Most shadow ban fucking thing ever. The only reason we do it, truthfully, is for clips and shit. It makes the editors have an easier job. We would just put it up on Spotify. Our video deals with Spotify, so go over there and support us. Hit that 5-star over there on Spotify. And then iTunes, you got to leave a review. And that's not just for this show. It's for all of them, including Crime Corner. So Crime Corner is fucking growing massively, dude, but you guys need reviews.
Yep.
So that's the only negative thing I hear from advertisers, where they're like, man, I don't understand. The show's great. What about the reviews? And I'm like, man, you don't really ask. And it sucks, doesn't it? Review all my shit, dude. And there's like 90 things.
Yeah, and you got to do it at the top of the episode and at the end of the episode. Yeah.
So who do you guys have coming out tomorrow for Crime Corner?
So tomorrow was we pre-record episodes and stack them in advance, so it's hard to remember. But I believe tomorrow is going to be, Luke, do you remember which one that was? So Jesse's not the only one that struggles with this.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, I'm terrible.
Well, you guys do one for Patreon, Drinking Bros Podcast Patreon, then you do one for Spotify.
For Spotify.
So yeah. Whatever it is, you guys don't miss, and they're always fucking great. So yeah, go support Crime Corner, man. I want to hold the purse. I don't need to be the dude. I don't need to be famous, man. I want to hold the purse. I want Crime Corner to blow up. I hear about it all the time, man. So congratulations to you guys. But yeah, download that, rate and review it on iTunes and Spotify. Rate this show 5-star on iTunes and write a review, and then 5-star on Spotify as well. It really is all the advertisers care about. And then in the comments on either YouTube or Spotify, just tell me if you loved the Odyssey and what you loved about it, and maybe what I'm missing. Because I don't have a problem with that either, man. Like maybe there was some overall fucking theme that I just didn't see, or some fucking arc that I'm missing. But yeah, tell me what you think. All right. Even though she's not here, I'll say her name. For Jesse Wiseman, a.k.a. The Jables, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Revolution. Buenos tardes, everyone.